I'll tell you this much. Sometimes the difference between the good guys and the bad guys is just competence. There is no difference. They're both incompetent. One less than the other. Daddy, shove your boy some dollars. We out here. There's such touching. Anyway, guys, all jokes aside,
The
all
only
jokes.
ribs, the only ribs that are touching is the baby back ribs. 'Cause my belly is full. I don't need no Diddy money. I don't know about you.
I'll get any Diddy dollars. Pause. Maybe I
I
should-
was about to say, you're lucky we're speaking English, because if this was another language. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah, I'm
man.
done. I'm done.
No, but all jokes aside, we are here, man. We are here. Diddy might be getting bond. I mean, this is a topic we talked about before. It seems like RJ, and this is the thing with evidence from prosecution, right? It seems like their story is getting flimsier, thinner and thinner by the month. Because I mean, at a certain point, you cannot defend certain things anymore, right? In the beginning, he was contacting, before he went in, he was contacting witnesses according to the prosecution, calling people 100 times, but now he cannot do that anymore. One thing they did, they rated his, and this is what this is the story where it's starting to get a bit tricky. Last week they rated his cell. They rated his cell and took pictures. According to them, they rated because he was doing some weird stuff, as in he was they thought, or in their opinion, he was not obeying the rules there in the jail he's in. But the problem is, usually when you're not obeying the rules, they write you up. If not mistaken, there are no write-ups. There's nothing to find. They couldn't find anything about any letters about him not cooperating or not doing whatever. So all these rumors that have went into the world, it seems like the prosecution are playing games with perception right here. Perception of the public rather than the perception of the judge. But anyway, they rated his cell and took a couple of pictures. And I'll let. By the way, shout out to Lawyers for Workers, great attorney, always has great breakdowns. I like to use his breakdown because he speaks quite clearly about these situations. He has a lot of good insight on the situation. Let's take a look at what he had to say about that. Fair use.
Major development in the Puff Daddy case, and this is going to be really bad for the defense or really bad for the prosecution. Here's what happened. So there was this big argument over whether or not the government was allowed to take pictures of these notes. Now, obviously, if the notes are communications with his attorneys, they're not allowed to do it. What the government said is that they were doing a general search for contraband. They went in the jail cell. They found a stack of papers. On the top was a folder marked legal, and inside it was closed, sealed. They never went into that folder. They put that folder to the side and they took pictures of some of the other stuff. The defense said no, all of those were legally privileged materials. In fact, Puff had a larger folder that they all used to be in. The Bureau of Prisons said he can't have such a big folder. They took that away from him. So he just kept the one on the top and the other legal stuff on the bottom. And the judge was looking at it and he's like, yeah, some of this stuff looks legal. And he bought the defense's argument. They were good. But then, out of nowhere, the defense went and said, you know, Judge, the pictures that they took, the legal pads that those pictures are from, the legal pads themselves.
So far, so good, RJ. Can you give us a small, what do you think about this?
I think we can finish the rest, actually.
Okay. Okay.
Said legal on the top. The judge said, hang on, wait a minute now. Let me see that. The lawyer
Fair
gave
use.
him the pad and he said, look, this is the page they took the picture of. This is legal on top. And the judge said, oh my God. Hearing ended. But then after the hearing ended, the judge issued another order and he said, defense, excuse me, you're going to have to explain to me something because I saw the original photographs that the government took. And of the original photographs that they took a photograph of this legal pad. And I'm looking at the binding. It doesn't say legal on top. That means one of two things, folks. That means that either the government lied to the judge and gave them photographs that weren't the actual photographs of the legal pads, or that means the defense. Remember what happened here. The government took the pads, they took pictures, and they put them back in Puff's jail cell. Then it's possible that Puff or somebody else wrote legal on them, which would make sense because you had this issue happen once. Now let's write legal on everything. This way it won't happen again. But in open court, the lawyer went so far as to say, I don't know what happened, but if that's what happened, the lawyers didn't say that. The lawyers said, hey, the feds searched these pads and they said legal on them. They're crazy, wild violations of the attorney-client privilege. The judge now asking, hang on, who's lying? And if it's the defense that misrepresented that this legal was written after, or if it's the government that misrepresented that, oh shit, yeah, we were hiding the fact that we clearly saw the legal marking on the top, that's going to be a problem for one side or the other. Major fireworks expected at the Puff Daddy hearing today on just this point alone, and then the overall bond argument, which we'll do another video on. Major.
Hey, man. I just wanted to, I know why you wanted me to give a first reaction, but let's just, I'm telling you, KaiR, the more and more I follow these news, you ask yourself, what's really the difference between the good guys and the bad guys? Because and we don't know what happened. I don't know if we now know what happened. But if I have to comment up to this point,
Don't crash out. That's all I'll say because I have the answer. Don't crash out.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, so they covered that as well. I'll tell you this much. Sometimes the difference between the good guys and the bad guys is just competence. There is no difference. They're both incompetent. One less than the other.